Merci, Monsieur le Gouverneur, d'avoir ouvert la voie pour la discussion et l'échange sur un sujet aussi passionnant. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mrs. Kristalina Georgieva, Managing Director of the IMF, for her welcoming remarks. Thank you very much.
Salam alaikum, bonjour, good morning. I am so grateful to Governor Jouari for bringing us together today on a discussion about a topic of great significance for the global economy, one that we will pursue relentlessly together. My gratitude also goes to the Minister of Finance, who graciously accompanied me yesterday on a fantastic visit to Ouarzazate, where we had a chance to see why Morocco is so deserving to be the host of the annual meetings in October. We were within 20 minutes in the future with a visit to Noor, the incredible solar plant that is demonstrating how we can have clean energy, and it is a symbol of the dynamism and modernity of Morocco. And also we were in Eid bin Haddou, where in the 11th century, history produced a remarkable monument, today a UNESCO heritage. In other words, we have rich history, tradition, culture, and vibrancy that guarantees a strong, dynamic economy for Morocco, for Africa, and of course, a contribution to the whole world. So I can only, Governor and Minister, I can only share with the audience that for us at the IMF, Morocco hosting the annual meetings is a symbolic event, how the past, the present, the future can provide for optimism in a world that is faced with quite a significant challenges. And I invite the audience to give a big round of applause to our host today and in October. My thanks also go to all of you in attendance, but especially to the Director General of the Arab Monetary Fund and the Governor of the Central Bank of West African States. They will bring deep expertise to the panel discussion we would have later. Let me recognize that the topic of CBDCs has been quite intensely present in discussions around the world. We had last year in Jeddah a CBDC conference. It was co-hosted by the Saudi Central Bank, the Arab Monetary Fund, and us, the IMF. Many of you attended it. And already then, we recognized that in a massive transformation driven by the digital revolution, of course, how the economy functions and the role of money is significantly impacted. We used to say before the pandemic that the future was digital. With the pandemic, the future arrived. We now have an accelerated transformation, and we all have to recognize that if we don't move fast as policymakers, we risk to miss an opportunity and create risks for our future. We have been working on the topic of CBDCs at the IMF, and what I can report is that we are still at a point when a lot is not decided. But that is exactly the point when we have to intensify our efforts, so decisions taken are the right ones. We have seen many central banks picking up on the issue of CBDCs. In fact, 114 central banks are at some stage of exploration, with about 10 already crossing the finish line. And of course, we know the largest pilot in the world is the one in China, with 118 million participants in that pilot. We have seen some central banks who have explored CBDC dropping it for the time being. And that is also a reflection that it is not a simple, straightforward decision to take. Let me make 3 points at this opening of the conference. The first one is the point about benefits. Why is it so important to explore CBDCs? Well, first, they give more people access to financial services and bring the cost down. Second, CBDCs can provide for more resilient and efficient payment systems. Third, they can be a cheaper way and a quicker way to do cross-border payments, to pass remittances, very important for this region, and also simplify other transfers. Let me just give you a number to illustrate. Average cost of remittances, 6.3%. That means $45 billion a year get in the hands of intermediaries rather than in the hands of those this money is being dedicated. The minister reminded me yesterday that often remittances are small amount of money that people save and send to their relatives, as small as $20. Taking away any percentage of this means that the hard labor, the hard effort of those who save is being undermined. And often we talk about low-income families for whom that makes a material difference. My second point is that if we are to be successful, CBDCs could not be fragmented national propositions. To have transactions more efficient and fairer, we need systems that connect countries. In other words, we need interoperability. And for this reason, at the IMF, we are working hard on the concept of a global CBDC platform to trade and to manage risks. And my colleague, Tobias Adrian, will talk more about it later in the day. And my third and last point is we have an institution, the IMF, that is created to serve 190 members. On behalf of my colleagues, I want to stress that we recognize our responsibility to serve all these members, rich and poor, big and small, with a connectivity bringing them together. And that, of course, takes me to the annual meetings again, where we will bring the world together in Marrakesh. At that point, we are going to bring also advancements of our thinking, two new IMF papers, CBDCs and private digital payments in sub-Saharan Africa, and one on a roadmap to CBDCs in the Middle East and Central Asia. bring experience from these regions, advance the discussion for the regions, but also globally. My gratitude again to you, Governor. I look at this room, I see some familiar faces, I see many new faces. This is a demonstration of the excitement that comes when we discuss CBDCs, and I so very much look forward to our discussion today, as well as when we are all where? In Marrakesh. Thank you.